Hey, what's going on, my war team peoples? Happy Tuesday. This is the first Tuesday of 2025. Yes, if you go look, the first Tuesday of 2025. Seems like we've been here forever, right? So some exciting stuff going on. I'm excited about this year, what I'm going to be doing for the next 12 months. I'm going to be taking 12 different topics, myself and the dads, and we're going to break these topics down. And hopefully these topics, as we discuss them, you'll find it helpful to you in just not real estate, but in your daily life. And this topic for this month, I'm going to get kicked off with this month is about finding your why. And what I want to do before we get into the why, sometimes we have to understand why your why is so important. And I'm going to take it this to this level, and I'm going to go here. It may not be comfortable for people, but really, when you get into your true why, it's probably not the most comfortable thing. And what I mean by that, we all have moments where we sit and ponder about where our life is going and dreaming big and maybe even looking at others and seeing what they've done and really realizing that we're not in the place that we want to be. And everybody does it. I do it. I'm sure you do it. Everybody does it. But when we having those moments, and we should be able to use that as fuel if we can really attach it to the why, but the why's got to be used as a tool. And I believe the people that takes their true why and attach it as a tool, anchor it, and do something with it, those are the folks that we see achieving greatness. Now, I give you an example of me personally. I think statistically, I'm probably not supposed to be where I'm at. And I say that with all respect. But for whatever successes I've had along this journey, I feel like I've tapped into a reason why it's been that way. And I'm going to take real estate for a second. When I started real estate, my personal experience with real estate was that I started off and I thought that I was going to just do this for the money. I thought I was going to do this for just selling my house at first. That's how I started real estate. And I'll explain that. I said, okay, I had this house. I had a couple houses here and I wanted to sell one. And I found out what the real estate agent got when I sold it. And I was like, oh, no, I can't let that happen. I could do this myself. Me being me, oh, I could do this myself. But when I got into the business, I found out that this business is tough and it's not as easy as what we think. And I didn't close the deal for 7 months. And in that process, this lady came around and for whatever reason, she was crazy enough to work with me and I didn't know what I was doing. And we end up getting her home. But the fact that a lot of people don't know is that this lady had tried to buy a house in her 30s, her 40s, and now she was in her 50s, and I think almost 60. And she wanted to buy a house. We started this journey and she was crazy enough to work with me with somebody that didn't know what they were doing and thought I was going to make all this money. And at the end of the day, when we closed, I only made 900 some odd dollars on the sale because she bought a mobile home. And I found out that was the toughest deal ever. But she, at the closing table, was just overwhelmed with joy. She was just crying and everything was going on, that all the emotions you can think about that someone's happy and joyful at the closing table because she had never experienced home ownership. In that moment, I'm crying. When I'm retired airborne air assault first sergeant, 21 years of Army. I'm up there crying. And I was in that moment, I found something inside me that I didn't know what I had. I found out that my brain was wired that if could see where I helped someone and gave them joy, it sparked something inside of me that I didn't even know I had. Prior to that, I was in the military. Everything was mission first and accomplish the mission, and that was it. And I didn't care about people's feelings or anything like that because that's what the Army told me what I had to do. And here I am at this moment in time, at the age of 42, realizing what makes me happy. And I had something to do with her happiness. And the byproduct of that was I got paid this 900 some odd dollar check. It wasn't even about the check. I've forgotten about selling my house. I had forgotten about all this other stuff. For me in that moment, it was, how can I feel this again? And I learned that at the age of 42. Embarrassing that I didn't know that about myself. What I had told people, I wanted to make all this money. I wanted to sell my house. But at that moment, I got to reset my why. And when I reset my why and start to attach it to actions, it start to take me in a different direction. Take me in a different direction where, as of today, I'm still searching for that all the time. I'm still searching for that feeling. And luckily, I get the opportunity to recreate that and reset my why with the agents that's in my office. Yeah, it's incredible to sit there and see sometimes of uh, how we get to help each other and how I get to help you. And internally, I'm being selfish because it makes me feel so good. Right now, if you think about it, and I've attached that driver to my why, I don't think it's a coincidence that I'm a broker of a company and still trying to help agents because I'm still having that tied to my driving point of how this really works. Now, I sit there and say this to say that we have to understand why resetting your why is so important. It may be, hey, you're starting this career, you're saying, hey, look, I want to, yeah, you want to make money, you want to do this and all this other stuff, right? It may not be that. Maybe your true why is that you're the head of your household and you're unable to provide for your family. That may be the true why. But what comes out when we do goal setting, I want to get this car, I want to pay these bills, I want to do that, whatever. But the true why, look, sometimes when we really start to do this, is probably like, man, you just don't want to feel that feeling of not being able to provide for your family. There's where the true why is. And we need to understand how to get there. Now, everybody has their different reasons for being in real estate. I'm just sharing mine. All right. If you go back to mine, it really had something to do with something internally with me that I had never felt. And that was the real why that drove me. It was nothing about the money. The money was a byproduct of what we end up doing. So I'd say that is like, we really need to understand your why. Do you really know your why? And can you attach it to a driving force? Right? Because when all this excitement is happening, we just started a brand new year and everything exciting. We're moving, we're doing all this stuff, right? But it will fizzle out. And when it fizzles out, the only thing that keeps you going, if you really know how to attach your why to your driving point, what is anchored to it? It may be if you're saying, hey, look, I'm going to get in great shape, the deep, dark things that people don't talk about. It could be, hey, I got this gut, don't look sexy for my husband or my wife, and I'm feeling like it's affecting our marriage. That's something that you don't come out and you just don't open up and say that, right? Or things of that nature. You really got to know what really is your why. And it's not always going to be glamorous. It's not going to be joyful. It's going to be dark and embarrassing if you really think about it. I just wanted to try and share that with you because I think we need to sit here and understand why is the why so important and how do we anchor that to our actions. It's the only way that you can really truly go deep into the whole why to understand what really drives you. Now, once we have this deeper understanding, it shifts everything for you. Suddenly, long hours and challenges are not long hours and challenges. You're anchoring them to your why, and it makes it manageable because you're saying, yeah, this makes sense because I know why I'm doing it, right? I feel like that gives it strong purpose and it gives you meaning behind what you're doing when others don't really think or know what you're doing. They don't have to. That's not important. So I share that with you because it will keep you going only if you anchor it to what's really there. So I ask you, what is your why? Is it tied to a personal experience, fears, failures, or a desire to achieve something greater? If it's not, then I don't know if you're going to really be able to achieve the things that you really want. When you identify with a deeper motivation, it can fuel your drive. I'm asking you this week, take some time, do some self reflection, write down your why, the true why. Keep it to yourself. Don't share it with no one else. All right. It's okay. But truly, if you really know what your why is really driving you to do, it's going to help you. It's crucial in our career. It's crucial in everything that you do. It's crucial for financial stability or financial freedom or financial gains, if you really think about it. It's something that we need to understand in order to do this business. Now, okay, next week, we're going to go into something a little bit different. We're going to go into some actionable items of some goals. So don't miss it. Together, we're going to make this year great. And thank you for listening. I hope this did help you in some way, shape, or form. Peace.